So here's the lesson note for lesson 1.2, where we're interpreting graphs that we see. So you should have already watched the video about interpreting a histogram with Khan Academy. So don't forget, you need to log in with the password that I gave you. Go to the assignments. It might be a notification up on the right for you, and then watch the video interpreting a histogram. So let's go through some examples and interpret them together. Let's take a look at this first one here, and we're answering the question here, what type of graph is it? So I see the bars, so I'm thinking either a bar graph or a histogram. Now remember that a histogram has their bars side by side, okay? So right next to each other. So this one is a bar graph. So we'll fill this in. And then we're going to take a look at what the axes represent. So when I'm looking at a graph that represents data, it's really important to take a look at the x-axis and the y-axis. So just as a reminder, this is our x-axis down here, or our horizontal axes, and this is our y-axis up here, our vertical axes. So the axes represent, so in this case, our horizontal axes, or x-axis, I look and this is the categories of the different types of foods, right? So our food categories. And then I take a look at my y-axis, my vertical, and this is our average expenditure. Okay, or how much money is spent. So the next question is, what is the highest value? So obviously we can see that this one is the highest value. So this is meat, okay? And it's somewhere almost at $1,200. And then the lowest value I'm looking down here is this one here, so fish and seafood. So this is our average Canadian household food expenditure by category. So on average, we're taking a look at households and how much they spend on the different types of foods. And this graph can tell us all of that information. So let's take a look at the next graph we have here. This is the same information. Let me just move it up a little bit more. There we go. So same information, but a different way to display it, okay? So when we're taking a look at this graph, what type of graph it is, obviously it's our pie chart. And what do the sectors represent? So each one of these things, again, it's the percentage expenditure by food category. So not the average amount, but the percentage. So percentage, let me fill that in. The percentage expenditure by food category. Okay, so what is the highest value? We would take a look at what highest percentage it is that we have. So that one there. So meat, which is 26%. And the lowest value we know should be fish and seafood. And there it is there. And it does have the lowest percent, fish and seafood. And that is 5%. Okay. This is our next graph. We're going with the same theme, taking a look at our expenditures or the money spent on food. Okay, so this one is the changes in total average Canadian household food expenditures. So as opposed to looking at those categories, we're looking at change over time. So you can see here, we have a difference in our x-axis. We're not looking at those bar graphs anymore and taking a look at categories. We're taking a look at years. So first, we see that this type of graph is a line graph. And then we're going to take a look at our axes. So for this line graph, our x-axis, our horizontal axis is down here. This is time in years. Okay, so we're looking at something over time. And then our y-axis is here, our vertical axis, and that is our total expenditures. Okay. And what's the highest value? So we can see that our highest value is here, and that would be in the year 2014, and our lowest value is here in the year 2012. So 2014 is the highest, and then it's just below 45.50. Okay, so just below 45.50 or 4,550, and our lowest value is in 2012, and it looks like it's just below 4,250. So just below 4,250. Okay. And so we can see the different changes, and think about why that's happening. So from 2010, then our expenditure, the money that we have spent on average goes down in 2011, goes down further in 2012, and then starts going up till 2014. So let's take a look at our last graph here. And it didn't show up on PDF, but these are supposed to be connected. So let's pretend that they're connected on your sheet that you have printed out, and in the content they are connected. Okay. So what type of graph it is? What type of graph is this? It's a histogram. Not sure why that graph doesn't look quite nice when we pull it into this program, but that's okay. The axes represent, so let's take a look at this x-axis. So this is the total average Canadian household food expenditure. So down here, we're actually taking a look at the money, okay? So our average expenditures. Okay, and then our y values. Let's take a look at here. This is the number of provinces. Okay, so we have our number of provinces there. So what's the highest value? Our highest value is here. So when we're taking a look at what this means, down here, the number of provinces that spend between 4,100 and 4,249, there are actually 3 provinces that spend that lowest amount, okay, have that lowest average. And then we can take a look at how many provinces the other ones are. So our highest value is we have 3 provinces, okay, that spend between 4,100 and 4,249. And then our lowest value, we actually have 3 of them. And so we have one province between 4,250 and 4,399, one province. And we have the same for 4,700 to 4,849, again, one province. And then 4,850 to 4,999, again, just one province. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of a summary of the things that we're looking at when it comes to reading data off the different types of graphs. Hopefully it made it a little bit more clear as to what each type of graph helps us display. And now you'll be moving on to your practice online, reading histograms, and textbook work on page 3.